All right, we got Courtney Keene from Deloitte. Thrilled to see you. It's been a while. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Courtney, you're with Deloitte. Tell us a little bit about how you are seeing the two letters on everybody's tongue, AI, obviously. I probably didn't need to spell that out for you. What is your relationship to AI, Courtney?
Oh, big question. My relationship to AI, I am optimistic. I think there's a lot of potential, lots of opportunity, but I'm, cautiously optimistic, as I think everyone should be. There's a lot of work that needs to be done to kind of lay a solid foundation, make sure that there are safeguards in place, make sure that ethics and equity and inclusion are centered as we are building AI solutions. And I'm specifically focused in my role at Deloitte within our international development practice on the Africa region and thinking about how that region can kind of prepare, to develop its own AI ecosystems, not be left behind, but really generate its own solutions, its own data, its own training models, and so forth as part of the global AI evolution.
Incredible. And maybe tell us a little bit about some of the projects that you're working on right now. Is there one or two that kind of jump to the top of your mind in terms of where some of this work is? You're really seeing some exciting developments.
So I'll talk about a couple. So on our USAID funded work on the continent, we are doing a lot of work with national governments and partner countries in Senegal, for example, where we're helping to implement public reforms. And while AI and digital are not at the center of that work, it's really around just operationalizing policies and laws, whether it's public finance or procurement or transparency, governance. But some of the challenges we're seeing are in, keeping up with the fast pace of digital, right? And all of the tools that are out there and the expectations of citizens, right? And so really there's a strong need to upskill public sector workforces. And also think about, as we talk about digital adoption within partner governments, think about change management, think about, how do complex bureaucratic systems actually change and actually adopt these tools. So that's one perspective from project work. And then
Primarily Senegal, you said?
Primarily Senegal. That's from a USAID funded project there. And then we're doing a lot of research right now on AI and thinking about, as I was mentioning, laying the foundations for a strong enabling environment in the continent, on the African continent. And so my team has been developing and is working on this series called AI for Inclusive Development in Africa. We recently published a piece on governance as the first of a 4-part series that'll cover governance, of course, talent. So thinking about the workforce issues, funding, and data and digital infrastructure.
When did you release that? I feel like I might have seen that. Was that when did that come out?
The governance piece came out like last month.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Another one's coming out soon.
Another one's coming out soon. Okay. And you post these regularly, right? Yeah. And they're on LinkedIn. Okay, so if you follow Courtney Keene, or Deloitte, I think you can probably keep up with the. They're really great publications. Yeah, I mean, I was able to scan through the first one, and it was beautifully done.
Thanks. Yeah, and so I'm really, as I said at the beginning, very excited about the opportunity for AI. I just think it's really important that we think about creating those local ecosystems, starting with a really strong foundation, governance, workforce, all of those different components.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming by the pop-up studio and for Deloitte's support of this community of GDDF. You all have been a really important partner in developing this conference and community. So thank you. And
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome.